All right, guys, what's up? What's up? It's been a very long time. For those of you tuning in live, thanks for being here. It really has been a minute. Um, this is the first step of season 5. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the draw. And hey, look at my boy Ricky, bro. What's up, Ricky, dude? I'm not in this season, man, so you don't have to worry about us playing each other. It's gonna feel weird. First time in 4 seasons that we're not gonna play each other, brother. But hopefully, hopefully you get a good drawing here. Excuse me. Okay, so let me check on this real quick. All right, so we're going to start the drawing. I have the division placeholders over there on the other one. So there's 4 divisions, 16 players now. We've moved up from 12. So there's 16 players now. There's going to be up to about 9 out of the 16 players are going to possibly qualify for the playoffs. I say possibly because they technically won't all qualify, but I'll have another video for that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and spin. We'll put everybody in their groups, and then we'll have like a 10-minute talk real quick. That way, if anybody has any questions as far as how the preseason works, and I'm also going to kind of explain in better detail. Those you guys know, I'm a little bit better explaining it this way rather than trying to type it because I don't know. All right, so we're going to see. This is going to be who's in slot A. I'm also going to post the workbook link here soon. But for those who don't know, it might be odd because I have the screen capture on this specific thing, but for example, you can kind of see it here. So like, let me show. So I'm not in, but let's say I'm only Dolphins, right? So that's my team. Let's say I was the one who'd be in slot A. If you can see here on the schedule, it'll autofill. So these schedules are predetermined, right? So like player A in the first weekend is going to get drawn to play player B, and they'll also be drawn to play player C the first weekend, and so on and so forth. So all this stuff, and I think I've actually posted the screenshot. I may have, right, of the schedule already. Either way, I mean, everybody that's been in this, they know it's all predetermined. So, yeah, I have it kind of auto set to, it'll autofill on there. So, as soon as I fill you in, you'll be auto-filled in there, so on and so forth. So, let's go ahead and draw to see who's in A. There are no seeds this season because there's so many new players, with us expanding and there being new players. You know what? That's only fitting. That's only fitting. The champ needs to be in the A spot. I don't know if this is how you spell Phoenix, but I hope so because that's how I've been. So our defending champ of season 4, defeating yours truly in the finals. He gets the A slot. Maybe it's deserved, right? All right. Slot B. Is gonna be the Wicked Litwicks. I'm getting like a ad that's bugging out here. Okay, sorry. All right, Wicked Litwicks, and that is verse, I believe. Wicked Litwicks in the B slot. So as you will see on the schedule, as I shift over, see these two guys are gonna play each other the first weekend. As far as in the regular season, in the normal, I mean, they're obviously the people that you're grouped up with in your division, and I'll get to it again a little bit later. You're gonna play them in the what's up, Chino? You're gonna play them in the preseason as well. So, people in your division. So again, before I scan the rest of these, why are divisions so important? They're important because you play this season. We're moving from 16 to 18 games. You literally play 12 of your 16 games or 12 of your 18 games are against people in your division. So I mean, you're gonna get used to these people a lot, and it's very common for people to counter draft against maybe what people in your division have. I think that's what the later rounds are so good for. But slot C is gonna go to the electrified Regielekis. Cool. I'd have to see who. I'm still getting used to everybody as well, so I don't really know who all still runs everything, because it's a lot of players. And the Tampa Bay Blazekins round out the B-Spot division. We're going to go to the B slot here, or to the E slot, the second division. The boy Oxa, Madrid Mankeys. I hope we get a good spread of players from old kind of. Let me column with this out because it's not fully fitting. There we go. I hope we get a good mix of old players with some new ones. I would like maybe each division have one or two of the older players, but I mean it's up to the will. The Magic Conch Shell is what has to speak. The Florida for Alligators. This is my dog. Those of you that are from last season and before will recognize my dog's barking. Don't worry, that hasn't changed. Gliding Crobats. Vios in there. He's in there with Oxa. And the H slot here. Also fun. We'll fill out the slot and I'll make my other notes. Milo, hey, bro, hey. He's using Growl, lowering their attack. Doug Trio Mama. Pretty interesting thing I was saying. All right, so we're halfway through the draw. We'll announce also for anybody that does care, and I hope you guys join me. You know, we had like Oxa and Zacchaeus and them last season help me out with it. I will be restreaming my playthroughs of Renegade Planet. I gotta beat it, man. I gotta beat it. You guys know how much I struggle with that. I'm gonna come back, hopefully have some better production on it, but just, you know, maybe 2 or 3 nights a week, try and chill. So anybody that has a chance to join me on those, you know, would love to have you guys. But nonetheless, going to the Cherish Ball division now, slot I. It is mini. Oh no, it's Washington Walreins. Cool little logo there as well. Every time I type in the W, it goes twice. I've done that like 10 times already. 10 times. 10 times. All right. Who's going to join him? I'm not going to lie. I get a little... I'm going to have so much fun watching you guys play. I hope you guys can like hear my excitement. And even when I cover some of these games, like it is a little bit painful to not be playing this season. I will say, especially... as somebody who, so for those who don't know, right, the commissioner, I'm wild card, right? I was the coach of the Only Dawn fans, and season 1, as I put in the chat, we didn't finish it, but I was in the finals. Didn't get to play that game. Season 2, I lost in the semifinals to the eventual champion, one of my best friends, Gilbert. And then season 3, I lost in the semifinals to the eventual champion, Zacchaeus. And season 4, I finally broke through and made it to the finals, and me and Phoenix Suncurrents, who's in slot A, Chino, we had ourselves, I think it was a 5-hour just gauntlet. It was a best of 5. We took it all the way to game 5, and it was a gauntlet. We were pretty drained. That was a lot of fun. I might post that old video for those of you who may want to look back on it. That was things that Kaius had hosted that stream. That was pretty fun. All right, over to slot K. I know some of you guys are just like, dude, just come on. Like, I just want to find out where I'm at. It's like K, double A palms. I believe that's Pokemike, right? I know that's one of our more old school ones. Man, we've got a lot of old school players left on the wheel still. This Yo, this last division is gonna be popping. Spectacular. We're also still working on this name. I don't know if that's what he wants to keep. He was still going to get back with me. All right. Last division is guaranteed to have Kolzak. I think that is Slush, who, from what I'm picking up, is a really good player as well. So Zacchaeus, who we know, right, is always one of the top players. And the boy Ricky, who Ricky, by the way, for those who did not know this, I think I'm calculating it correctly. Only myself, Ricky, and Oxa of Madrid Mankeys I believe us three are the only players to have played more than 3 seasons and have qualified for the playoffs every single season we've been a part of it. Just saying. I think I can't remember if Oxo was in with us for season 2, but I know for sure he was season 3 and season 4. But Ricky has qualified for the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he has actually. Fun fact as well, Ricky has lost in the first round of the playoffs in season 2, season 3, and season 4. And every player that beat him, much like every player that beat me in the semis, went on to win the finals. So maybe hope that you play Ricky in the beginning round. Actually, I didn't. My bad, Ricky. I played you in the semis. Or I played you in the first round last season, but I didn't win. I broke the curse. I'm sorry. All right, but let's spin though. Let's see what position these players are going to be in. All right, Ricky, you're in slot M. Dude, this division is going to be fun. I think just because I'm so familiar with this, with the players in this division, this one's going to be a lot of fun to watch. You made 1, 2. Oh, wait, I always forget the first season. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, okay. You're right, dude. You're right. You did make the playoffs 1, 2, and 3. That's right. Okay. But I know what that Pokemon is. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, behind the scenes, so a little, just between us. I was legit hoping that Slush and Zakai's wouldn't be in the same division, because they both have Mini in their names, and I know I'm gonna get, like, their team name literally is Mini, and then the next name is like MI, and I'm gonna get that mixed up so much. So bear with me ahead of time. I'm just gonna let you know that was the one thing I didn't want. I was like, I hope they're like on far ends of the free. I hope they don't even play each other. Now they're gonna play each other 4 times, actually 5 times, because they'll play each other in the preseason as well. And Zakai's will be in the O slot. And that leaves Kolzak in the P slot. Galloping Garchomp. So I don't know how much is going to show here, because like I said, I have it cut off for the stream. But you can kind of actually look. We can actually see. And now, of course, I'm going to screenshot. So the whole schedule. If I scroll over like that, you guys can still see it too. Cool. So the whole schedule is already filled out by itself. You can kind of see the matchups of players. I think obviously one of the good ones right off the bat, right? Ricky and Zacchaeus. That's just going to be a lot of fun as far as when the season starts. Madrid Mankeys, Gliding Crobats. Obviously seeing the champ come back right away, see what he does, even with the electrified Regileckies. Because I believe this guy, I'm pretty sure he's the one I picked up from OU doubles, and he was like 1,500, 1,600, I believe. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So let me go back to the standings. So we'll get on to the preseason portion. I kind of explained it with like Zacchaeus earlier. And please, if you guys have questions, post it in here or post it on the Discord. Like, it's never a bother. I try and answer when I can. I live in Texas, right? United States, Texas. So my time is central. So if you guys post anything, for those who don't know, right? So I'm a father of 2 kids and 4 dogs. Let me just throw that out there too. So I usually got to wake up really early to take my youngest son to football practice. So like 5 o'clock my time. So I usually go to bed like at 10:30 or so. So that's why usually, if you guys notice, I usually post very early in the morning when I wake up, but I'm not on very late at night. So, but if I ever am on, of course, I'll answer you guys. On to the preseason though, how that's going to work. Let me go ahead and clear out this wheel. Okay, so the way preseason is going to work, and I'll be highlighting here, and I might mark this so that anybody that comes back to watch it and is confused about how the preseason works, they can. So we're gonna use this example then, since we have Chino here. So player A, Chino, so the Beast Ball division is going to use. They're in the Beast Ball. So everybody in the Beast Ball division. And I know I have it cut off. I'm not going to try and undo it. So, I mean, I've already posted it. You guys know, right? These were all posted ahead of time just to show too. I have the semifinal teams. You can see I still got to get the sprites and put the stats in. I literally was doing that last night until 10:30. When you guys saw me posting, that's what I spent all last night doing. It took me about 2 hours to do this. So, Again, that's why I hope you guys are just on top of everything. Get with you. I'm trying to do my best to set everything up for everybody. All I ask for in respect is just play your games. Just get with your opponent, play your games. Just put in 10 minutes, just the proper respect, and just play your games, because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So the semifinal teams, I will post that here in a bit. That's what I'll be working on tonight after I eat. But yeah, so Chino, for example, will get with who's in your division? He'll get with the Wicked, and I'm gonna put the players' names and I'll fill all this stuff out. He's gonna get with Wicked Litwicks, Electrified Regielekis, and Temple Blazekins today. All those, it's not up to him, right? You get with the people in your division, and you guys will work out a time. The window will be from Thursday, or actually, I want to allow the window to be. It's usually from Thursday to Sunday, but the window is gonna be from Wednesday to Saturday because I need the winner. I need to find out who the winner of each group is. So let's say it is right. Let's just go to the top. Let's say it's I highlight it. Let's say it's Chino, Madrid, Meg. I'm just gonna highlight the top player. So let's say these 4 players have the best record, right? Let's say it's best of 1 singles. So let's say Chino goes 3-0 or 2, whatever the hell, right? Obviously KO differential. If there's any ties, will be with KO differential. But so the winner of the Beast Ball division will play the winner of the Moon Ball division. Winner of the Cherish Ball division will play the winner of the Master Ball division. That's how we'll find out, right, which semifinals each player in. Those will be played on Sunday, and then later that day would be the finals. Why is that important? Well, because here in the draft, and again, it's kind of cut off. So let's say, we'll use our defending champ. So let's say Chino, right? He gets with Wicked Litwicks. He gets with them and says, hey, it's Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Good with you. These guys would play each other, right? They would go to the roster, and these guys, it's essentially they're playing mirrored. They both have the same team, right? Chino can bring Tapu Koko. They can both bring Tapu Koko. One can bring Thundurus, or as we know, right, as I've mentioned, you can sub down. You can choose not to bring an S tier and bring an extra A tier. You can bring all 3 of these A tiers at that point then if you don't want, so on and so forth. We'll talk about, I actually have a small video I've already recorded that I'll post about bringing Pokemon in battle. But basically, this whole division is going to use that same team. This division is going to use a different team, right? Every division has their own teams. But let's say Chino with the Phoenix Sunkerns wins his division. Well then, right, we'll figure out who wins. And that Saturday, let's say these two figure out that they've won. These two, Phoenix Sunkerns and Madrid Mankeys, will get with each other and figure out a good time on Sunday to play. And then so would the Washington Walreins and Pachirisis Cups, right, if that's how it ended up. The reason that's important, so let's say Chino wins the whole thing, right? Let's say he wins the semis and wins the finals. So what's gonna happen here in the draft is we're gonna whatever your performance is. If you win it, you're ranked first, and then if you go 0-3 and have the worst KO differential, you'll be ranked 16th. So I would get with Chino, and I would ask him, hey, which slot do you want? As you know, I went with Pokemon games. The 16th game, it would have been odd if I would have just put Moon, or I didn't know. I was telling Gilbert, I didn't know what to put there. I was going to put like Pokemon Stadium because that's one of my favorite games of all time. But I just put like Rocket there, Team Rocket. So let's say Chino, this is where it's different because anybody that's ever played this with us knows that our drafts aren't normally snake drafts. They're normally, the first 2 rounds are snake drafts, and then it switches up. If you look, everybody has access to Season 4. Go look at how that was set up. And it was always random. This time, you guys have control over how you want the draft to be. So as you can see, it's truly snake draft, right? So whoever's in the black slot is going to pick second to last in the first round, but then they'll pick second to the top in the second round, so on and so forth. But let's go with the same thing. Let's say Chino beats Pachirisis Cups in the finals. So I'll get with Chino first. And I'll ask him, hey, which slot do you want, man? Maybe he wants to pick in the middle of the entire draft. So that because think about it, if you pick at the very beginning, with there being 16 players in the draft now, if you pick at the very beginning, you will not pick again until 30 other Pokemon rather have been taken off the board. So maybe you don't want there, maybe you do, maybe it's impaired, I don't know. However the hell some people, I know me, all my drafts, I tend to draft at the bottom half. That's just how it always draws for me. So if I were to win, if I was playing, I would probably draft something like, maybe I don't want to be at the very end, I'd probably be like in platinum. I'd probably say that slot. But basically, Chino would get with me and say, hey, I want to draft first overall, So I would get with him, right? I still think I'm spelling that wrong. I would boom, and then right, and then we autofill, and so he would pick last tier, and then first there. The first 8 rounds are truly snake. And then I would get with Ricky. And I'd be like, Ricky, where do you want to pick? And maybe he wants to pick back-to-back. And he tells me, I want to pick... I need to make these things longer. And then I would get with the third place semifinal. And I would literally get with all the players, so on and so forth. And you'll get to choose. That's for the first 8 rounds. If I scroll over here, the last 4 rounds, right? Because there's 12 rounds total. Everybody's picking 12 Pokemon. Right here in first, again, using the hypothetical that Chino wins, Chino would always draft first in round 9, 10, 11, 12. Ricky, who was our runner-up, would always draft second, round 2, 10. So this is more sports, you know, those of you that are like North American sports that tend to have drafts. This is how it would be a more traditional that way, where one player is always drafting in the same slot. So if you come in last, you'll be drafting at the very end of round 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, you know, everybody's still drafting the same amount of Pokemon. Obviously, the position is what changes. Just because you have a bad preseason doesn't mean that you can't win. Just because, you know, your draft order might be hindered. I mean, we've had, you know, and I'm actually going to be making a video with Gilbert, shout out, podcast episode, you know, week 0 preseason. Gilbert and I will be working on that, but he'll go to more depth. We had Gilbert, it was in season 3. He had just won the title in season 2. Didn't enter initially in season 3, had a lot of stuff going on, and we had a player drop out. So Gilbert agreed after week 1, by the way, agreed to join us smack dab in the middle of the season with a team that he didn't even draft. He scrapped the team, just picked up a bunch of free agents. You know, we allowed him a couple extra free agents and went all the way to the finals and was within 1 game of winning the finals. You know, he was up 2-0. Our finals are best of 5, but he was up 2-0 in that finals. And you know, Zakais was able to will a couple games back. But the whole point of that story is it goes to show you that it's also, you know, you got to be able to... Constructing the team is half the battle, and it's obviously... In my opinion, I think constructing the team is... If I had to make a slice right here, kind of while I have this wheel in front of me, constructing the team to me is like 20% of the battle. Obviously, you can't draft a whole bunch of Caterpies and nonsense and expect to win, but I think a majority of it is preparation. And I'm going to say this in a future video, but the last thing you want to do in a draft league is start showing tendencies. Once you start showing tendencies, you can maybe get away with it in your division, but once you get to the playoffs, man, like, those are other players that are also good. And trust me, those guys are going to know your tendencies. They're going to know what you like to send out, what type of set you like to run, what type. So if you're somebody that just sticks to habit, just trust me, you might be able to skate away with it. You might sneak into the playoffs. But once you get to the playoffs, the players that you're playing at that point are good enough that they're going to notice your tendencies, and they're going to just counter it. They're going to hard counter your tendencies. They're going to know who you like to send out first. They're going to know the 6 you like to bring. They're going to know. So my whole thing is just, you know, how well do you study your opponent? Do you go back and... I mean, everybody's games are posted in the results tab. So everybody has film on everybody. You can literally watch your opponent's games. You know, your upcoming opponent, you get to see their previous games, who they played, who they sent out, what they do. You know, are they, you know, kind of adapting to their opponent, or are they just playing their game? And if they do, to me, that becomes very easy to counter, like, in my opinion. But hey, to each their own, you know. But that also comes to, hey, if you draft a good enough team, you can literally, if your team has so much synergy, you literally might be able to just say, hey, I have this team, you know what I'm bringing, what are you going to do about it? Like, because I don't think that you can beat it. So what, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like VGC, right? People have a team, they got Zacian. I mean, they know, you know, they got Zacian, they're going to bring them, but what are you going to do about it? Like, you know, there might be Pokemon that are misplaced in a tier and they're just so busted that, you know, that's what I try not to do. That's why I do get very cautious about, oh, we'll just put this guy in B, or oh, this guy needs to drop down to A, or oh, this, because I'd rather something be overpriced, but a player still try and use it, than to be just broken in a lower tier. So that's my tangent on it. But that's kind of how the preseason would work. That's basically it. The preseason is just so that players can get used to maybe playing with Pokemon that, A, they might not get a chance to draft. Maybe they weren't even thinking about drafting, and maybe there's something that just plays so well that they use that all of a sudden it might be on the radar come next week, or in 2 weeks rather. So that's just kind of what it is. It's also a fun way to not just have it luck based on the draw. But yeah, so you guys know who's in your division. I'll be working on some of the stuff later tonight as well. But just kind of just going on a tangent here, but just make sure that you get with your opponents. I'm gonna post a screenshot of this so that you can see who the player is, right? You can get with them on Discord, but get with the players, don't wait, please. Okay, there's one pet peeve, and there's one thing that if I find out, because I will ask for screenshots. If the game doesn't get played and I ask, while we're here then, okay. Let's say, I'm just gonna use this as an example, because I mean, he played with us last season and he was fine with it. Let's say Chino comes to me on Saturday. Right, he hasn't posted his game. He comes to me on Saturday and he says, "Hey, I haven't played. I think it's what's his name? How do you say his name? But Sakato or Sakai, whatever the hell. The Tampa Bay Blazekins. Let's say he comes to me and says, "Hey, I got with this dude and he still hasn't got back with me, or we were supposed to play and he hasn't got back with me." If I ask for a screenshot and that screenshot show that they hadn't talked with each other all week, and Chino like messaged him that Saturday morning 30 minutes before he told me, they're both gonna suffer a loss. Like, that's the other thing, right? You guys know, I mean, look, you guys are literally already know the schedule a month ahead of time as far as games that are in week 3, week 4. So Sunday, after everybody's done with their games, or come Monday or Tuesday, whatever habit you want to make it, get with your opponents already. Start talking with them through the week. Like, my rule is all games need to be posted by Thursday morning as far as the matchmaking. In the matchmaking section, I need to know, when are you guys playing? It doesn't even have to be the exact time. Maybe you guys just agree, hey, I got plans Friday, but maybe after I'll do it. Okay, I don't care. Just post, hey, we're going to play Friday evening. It doesn't even have, I need a generalization so that I at least know that you guys got with each other. That's the main thing. Up until last season, is on top of me having my own games and trying to play, I was constantly having to get with players and, hey, have you got with this dude, and hey, this and that. Last season was the first season that we really had no issues. I mean, everybody, I was so proud of everybody last season, and if it was up to me, I would have all, obviously excluding myself, I'd have all 11 players come back, and I sent an invite to all 11 players to come back. Some people were busy, some people couldn't do it, but I mean, that was the first season where I truly wanted just to invite all the players back, because everybody was great. I hope we can continue that. It looks like we got a good group of people. People are active in the chat. They're ready. So I don't think that'll be an issue. But I just want to make that clear. Don't come to me. Don't come to me, Sunday when games are due. And you're like, hey, I got with this guy. We spoke, or even like, yeah, we spoke on Monday that we'd figure out a time, and then that was the last time you guys spoke, was Monday at 12 in the afternoon, and you guys didn't check at all throughout the week. Like, that's going to count on both of you. And if it's something that's repetitive, like I said, I have 2 players, for sure one, but I have 2 players that are going to be in the reserves. You'll see them in the Discord. Those guys will take over your slot. Not for that week, like, they're just going to take over your slot for the season. But that's about it. Like I said, I wanted to make it a bit short. I know I've been about 30 minutes now. I hope you guys enjoyed the draw. We're going to have more stuff going on. I'm going to be working on this. I'll be posting who each team belongs to, because I know there's a lot of new players, or some of you guys, don't know. I mean, if you're in the Master Ball division, you guys already know who's who. Okay, there's no excuse there. You guys can already just start getting with each other, all right? You guys know the roster, right? Master Ball division. You would come down, so you guys would, build with that team, and also know, right, how do you counter that team. I think that's the other cool thing. But yeah, so I'll get to working on this stuff, you guys. I thank you everybody for joining. We're gonna have a lot. I'm hoping there's a lot of stuff I want to do this season for you guys, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I know the production may not be great. I just want to put more stuff out there. I want to make this season hype. I want to just keep it going for you guys. We're gonna do division breakdowns. We're gonna do just a lot of different stuff I plan on doing. I got Gilbert, who's if he told me last second, hey man, I want to be in this season, he's one of those dudes that I would back. Like, hey man, he might be the odds-on favorite, along with maybe Chino and some of these other guys that, like, hey, this dude will probably win his division, go to the finals. So he's a very good player, does a lot of battling, not only in VGC but on the ladder and just a lot of different formats. He's the one who helps me with everything, but he'll be with me this season helping me out as well. I know you guys like to hear from him. And then the other announcement was, I'll be going back to doing my live streams on the Nuzlocke, so hopefully you guys can join me on that, so you guys can see how bad I am and the the critical hits that I get. I really do appreciate your guys' help. When you guys helped me through that last time, I definitely could use it again. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. I'll be posting this stuff